Oh, hello guys, Semicolon here, and today, I made a list called Worst Shows, and these are the top 10 shows that I really dislike. Oh, come on, Dino Ranch, I didn't put it in there! Okay, just bear with me, we're gonna skip through over with different shows. Okay, the top 10 worst show in this list is Ricky Zoom. One thing that two things I really hate because of the intense accent. I mean, just watch Ricky Zoom in TV and you just literally just feel that extremely intense British accent. And the second thing is their lack of diversity. I mean, the vehicles itself are just purely motorcycles. And by the way, they also that's all. And I don't know. The for the second part, okay. Um, the only diversity I could find is just there is the Scottish and Welsh accents. I mean, that's a bit interesting, but they're still in the British Isles, of course. The ninth worst show in my opinion is Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures. Oh, I forgot to mention that if you ever like these shows, I'm not gonna tell you that you are Nazi for liking these. Barbie Dreams House Adventures are just, first of all, it's designed for girls, and I'm not a girl, but but they're extremely intense. And by the way, another thing is because the show is owned by Mattel. Yeah, you're gonna figure out the next scene now. The top this is the top 8 worst show in my opinion is Thomas and Friends All Engines Go, or like All Engines Die. Seriously, I mean, one thing is it's the Mattel, the show who owns this. It's also the same. It's like the same company who owns Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures. Probably. The second thing is it extremely annoying. Another thing is that there's like, first of all, I mean, it's trying to modernize. It's like to try to retrofit for the smallest common denominator. I mean, before that it was Big World, Big Adventures. Try to find it out. I mean, I mean, it's basically just it's basically like Bubba, or like Big World, Big Adventures, but it's more trashier and for more younger kids. Another thing is that there's two essential characters back in the major show that was still running from 1984. Edward and Henry, it's like the two characters that were brought in from the original show, barely even appear in here. They're like filler characters. They're like wastes of space. Now, the next show that I really hate is Dino Ranch. By the way, it doesn't make sense why children manage to get in hands with dinosaurs. Do you think that that's just dangerous because they can literally just chase them over and just easily get lost? It's basically just a combination of cowboys and dinosaurs. Whoever made that concept should be hanged from their actions. Another thing is, if this does not make sense, I mean, this airs on Cartoon Network and Cartoonito. By the way, why couldn't they just make like another channel called Cartoonito for these younglings? And before, when Dino Ranch, let alone all of Cartoonito was put in the AM slots, there was Mr. Bean's the animated series. I mean, it depends on the station where the shows are positioned. It's basically like in my area, it's 7 a.m. for the Loud House, and it may be 8 a.m. for you. And it basically just took the place. Like, why couldn't just the lazy Cartoon Network just put the Dino Ranch in a separate channel like Cartoonito? Could I just bother make another one and just move this pile of crap in there? The next show is Deer Squad. One thing that I really hate in this show is the Smurfette principle. The Smurfette principle is basically when it's basically just a principle when that shows have like mostly male cast and there's just like only just a single female in there. I mean, and by the way, the female is portrayed in an extremely stereotypical way. I mean, if we look at this poster in here, if we look at like at the bottom right, we see Lola, one of their characters. It's painted pink, so that's one example of the Smurfette principle. It's just a supporting character, filler, and the last thing in there is it's basically just as to give male characters have a romantic relationship and or just basically use it as a damsel in distress. Now for Santiago of the Seas. I freaking hate this show. It has an extremely similar plotline to Paw Patrol that they literally have dozens of enemies. That's one thing that I really hated. And it doesn't make that like does make a bit of historical sense because there's not much Spanish pirates. I mean, the British would raid Spanish cities with pirates to get their gold and to try to control the Caribbean. If you think that I'm wrong, just call me I'm wrong. Now, I couldn't find any posters of this show, and it's Bob Family. Here we go again. Bob Family, you're literally one of the worst shows in the planet. If people think that Alvin and the Chipmunks is bad, and if I really hate Alvin, I would put this in the same slot as Bob Family. And I mean, Bob Family itself is an ungrateful ripoff to Peppa Pig. I want its channel to be removed in YouTube. They took sound effects from Peppa Pig and they claim that they're original, but they're not. And the next is Wolfu. It has an extremely similar plotline. Not only that, they also use other media to basically they just basically plagiarize them. That's just like a lot of brains and smash into one show. The next is Paw Patrol. Like what I said in Santiago in the Seas, or whatever was its title, it has lots it has like a lot of villains. Another thing is that their adult characters are useless. Third, it isn't effective in teaching their children who are watching its pile of crap. The people who are running this show are just manipulating children to buy more merch. That's what the only purpose for Paw Patrol, just to buy capital, that's all. And the number one most terrible show, in my opinion, is Mighty Express. I think like all of the shows that are owned by Spin Master Entertainment are just outright terrible. Like I cannot just stand looking at this. I cannot also even stand looking at Abby Hatcher. If I were to be forced to watch all of this pile of crap, I would literally just hang myself at this. It's extremely unrealistic. It is just an ungrateful ripoff to Chuggington. I very hate this show, and I want this to end. That's all.